Yeah, days off. Let's get into it. G'day everybody, welcome back to Mother's Ruin on get the glare off my head. On day 1 of 6 off. Buffett and I are out here refilling some tanks. 6 big days coming. 40 mil of rain coming on Saturday, today's Wednesday. I've got irrigation to do, polyline to run, tractor to fix, 500 trees to plant, all before Saturday. So we're going to get stuck in. Dog's out here with the collar of life, going alright. But beautiful autumn day, a little bit of breeze, blue sky. Apologies if it's noisy in the camera. So anyway, let's go and right now we're filling the tank up. You don't need to see that. We'll go and run this poly line out, walk you through what we've got to do. We've also got to change the oil in the Massey, which I'll try and get into this video. I need that tractor back. So yeah, let's hook in. Righto, so this blue pipe is hard enough to work with when it's hot, but when it's cold it's even worse. So we'll leave that in the sun for a while and then we'll come back and try and make it fit in the hole. While that's filling up, I'll go for a little wander, check out the silver dollars. These are back to water once a week now. My hope is that come summertime it'll be once a fortnight, or I may even be able to pull the irrigation out, but see how we go. I've got to fix a line down there later. But the silver dollars themselves are really going well. The majority are out of the top of the covers, like this bad boy here. It's gone berserk, or they're just starting to approach the top. So that one there's getting towards the top. This one here's not even in the cover. That's fine. And they're all through here. There's still some dead ones in here. I've still got maybe 15 or 20 to replace, but I have to bring the tractor in backwards without the slasher on, turn the slasher on, drive it out and mow each row. It's not a job I want to do by myself, just from a safety perspective. I also have to stake all of these dripper lines, which are just here. so I can see them. But here's another example of a tree that's going really, really well. But down the bottom here, funnily enough, in amongst this patch of greenery is the drip line I have to fix. So something ate the drip line. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 rows. I'll get 9 pegs and peg this when I fix that. So there is actually still a tree growing in there, which is really, really good. So yeah, all right, we'll go and get this car, get in over there and start playing with that poly pipe, which is bound to be no fun at all. I know I need to mow because the car keeps warning me I'm going to run into something as I drive through the grass, which is taller than the dog. So let's keep going. So fitting number 1 is relatively easy. I've got an IBC connector which plugs into the end of the poly, and which is good. The only problem is I currently don't have an IBC to put it in. So that, and I'll show you why in a moment, is proving to be problematic. So there's a little rubber seal. Where's the camera? Little rubber seal just in there. Slides over the top. He said really easily. Push the collar up. Do it up. See how easy is that? And then all of this does up onto the fitting for the IBC. And that's where we run into today's first challenge. So, as you will have seen on a couple of previous videos or a short or two, the IBC fitting broke. And it broke because it was old, but also because I put it under a bit of tension. So here's the old one, broken, and took some getting off. And this is the IBC that hose over there connects to. And this tap broke. All right, I'll get this right. This tap actually broke here, and then I got the rest of it off. What I'm going to try and do, because I can't get another IBC at short notice, is get a piece of lay flat that goes over here, put a banjo clamp on it, run it out to a fitting, plug it into that IBC. That's the first crack. So this line here is the line that's what have we done here? This line here is the piece we're going to join to. This line here, which is missing a couple of fittings, that's why it looks wrong, because it is wrong. Now, we'll hook it up so you can see. So here's the rest of the fitting. Goes on, collar, and then IBC fitting goes on here. And the way I like to do it is to do that one up, loosen that off, bring this in, do that one up, which gets it all nice and tight. I don't use thread tape because I take these things apart a fair bit, and that just gets messy. Nice and tight, push that in, do this up. That's better. Right, Makes more sense. So now I'll come back around the other side of the ute. And find a thing in the back of the car. Joiner for the 2 pieces, end plug. Back around here because I can't get it from the other side. Hopefully got enough grunt left in this for one cut. Yep, magic saw. So what I'm going to do is drag this piece of pipe down there and then attach it to that piece of pipe in there. So I'll see you down there in a second. Okay, we're at the join point. Now as you can see, or hopefully you can see, this piece which I'm joining to is very, very curvy. So, cut that little piece of curve out. Oh, you idiot. Just got to walk back up the top and pull it tight again. Righto, so the pipe on the right hand side, I've put a little electrical tape band around so I know it's the short one. I've also put it on the inside of the ditch. It's all joined and I'm going to cut it a bit longer than I need it because it's easier to cut some off than it is to glue back on. Except when you knock the camera over with the offcut. So the end's exactly the same as the rest of it. Now I could put a tap on the end, but that costs $65. This little plug costs $3. So I'll go with the $3 option while I'm poor. Nice and hard and do it up, and for now I'll just leave this cap loose because we're going to flush it a bit later on. So just put that there for now, just wedge it into the dirt, that'll help it straighten out. So I've got a little piece of offcut of this blue line poly. Not going to be using much of that, it's hard work. I'm going to stick with the green line. So the next move is I have to run a piece of poly line out here and then just check I've got all the poly line on the rest of them, and then come back, peg it, punch a hole in it, glue it on, blah blah blah. That might be after lunch or maybe even in the next video, we'll see. All right, what's next? Clean up some stuff, put some stuff over there, run some polyline. It's a glorious day, like seriously. Oh, trees. So this is patch 4 trees. These were the ones I was a bit worried about, and they're going okay. We hand watered these yesterday again. I really need some rain, and it's just to put the ground moisture back in. They're getting lots of moisture at the tree, but the actual tree beds need some moisture. It's just silly dry, believe it or not, even though the grass is 4 foot tall. So, righto, I'm going to move the car down to here and do some polyline. So unrolling poly doesn't even qualify as fun anywhere. First you've got to unwrap it from its plastic, which is much easier when you have a pair of scissors, which I've left at home. And then it gets really hot because it's been in the sun all day. And then you've got to walk it all the way down there. And, well, yeah, it is no fun. But I need it to be in the sun unrolled for a while so I can pull all the kinks out of it. So this stripper line is punched every 500mm with a regulated flow dripper, which I think is 3D printed, and it's good for 1.7 litres an hour per hole. So it's made by Jane, who I don't know if they exist anymore. So this is 16mm, 1.7 litres an hour. I don't remember what the 50 stands for, but 0.8 of a millimetre thick walls. 50 something, but I can't. 50 centimetre spacing. Picked this up cheap, and the secret is to find the first end, which is this end, and tie it to something. So, forgive my head in the picture for a second while I tie it to something. Now, we've talked about making hose rollers, and we've tried a few different variations, and so far this very awkward way that you're about to see is the easiest way we've found to do this. It does put a spiral in it, or leave a spiral in it, that you then have to untwist when it's warm. So that's now tied to something. Hopefully you can see this way. You then cut the third strap off, and before you cut the fourth strap, you've got to grab the inside. Because as soon as you cut that fourth strap, she's free. And now, all I have to do is just walk backwards down the row and unroll it. Hopefully with less kinks than one in the first 5 feet. See you soon. And the other thing you have to do is not drop the pipe cutters there when you need them down there. So I'll go cut this off. I've got one more to run over there. You can see how it works. And then we'll come back and wrap up. Because it's nearly lunchtime. Okay, so that's the last line run out. That's the car up there. This is the third longest line in this patch, and this one here is potentially the longest patch we're ever going to plant. So from here I need to install the sub-main connection to this poly, and then put some tension on it and untwist it. So it comes in a spiral, and there's a drip fitting every 500 mil, like here, between the white lines. So the aim is to actually be able to walk down the line when we put it in the center and actually have the white lines visible, because then I can see where to put the trees. And this is the drip fitting. It's actually on the inside. Try and do this one-handed. And these are a self-cleaning, self-regulating, fancy bit of technology. Plenty on YouTube about them and the internet, but fantastic bit of gear. We've had no issues at all with any of the stuff we've already planted, except for critters chewing the pipe to try and get the water, and some splits where we've pulled it too tight where there's been a kink. So it's pretty good stuff. So I'm going to wrap this video up here. It's getting pretty long. We'll call this part 473 of Let's Plant a Forest. I've put some electrical tape around the roll just to hold it all together. It's getting very warm to touch, so that'll stay together. When I come back after lunch, I'll probably make a second video for the day, and it's install the fittings along the sub-main, bury the sub-main, put some tension on these, peg them at the end so they've got tension on them, and then put some water through them at the end of the day, because tomorrow morning when I come back I can then put another load of water through, check that the fittings haven't moved with the expansion and contraction, and that's where the trees will go. So anyway, that's part one of who knows how many. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing. We're at 600 and something this morning, huge numbers, and I really appreciate it. If you want to subscribe, please do. If you don't, do it anyway and just don't watch. But seriously, we're getting underway. There's a lot to go still. See you later. Yeah, could have done without this today. Oh well, keep charging on.